Hello, and welcome to everyone. I believe my voice is much better. I'm not coughing too much. And yes, I really missed you. That is true. I really missed your presence here on the channel, and I believe also so do you. So I have a coffee with me. I have some great um, news and ideas. And in our today video, we'll talk about the torque ranges. Okay, the torque ranges and how much important is it. Maybe you have seen, let's say, the previous material on the channel, excuse me, which now at the moment probably it's under the membership. And okay, it is for some reason, yes, under the membership because it has a huge value. Um, on directing you how to use properly the equipment and all the things. But the most important thing is that this material is really great for the reason that it creates you a different overview of how the things are working. Maybe you will see them, maybe you will learn them from somebody else, but I believe really the material is exclusive. So in today's episode, in today's video, we will explore the torque range itself as device, as let's say the usage of that, and it will be really interesting. I have my QR code here, if you can see, and also I have left some of my QR codes in the academies just for the newcomers, let's say for the marine engineering, if they don't know the channel, so they will be better. Yes, at least knowing yes that this channel is existing. And let's quickly start. Why we use the torque ranges? What is the reason why we use the torque ranges? First of all, we use the torque range for the reason that we have a precise, a pre-adjusted, loaded tension, which can be measured, let's say, in newtometers, or it can measured um, in a different, let's say, unit like LBS, I believe, yes, Libres. So if we tie by hand, yes, we're never able to tighten a nut or a device precisely with a similar way. So that's why if somebody is tightening by hand, by let's say range, normal range, okay, we should leave one person to tighten that thing because in general he will apply the same pressure. But if we would like to do something more precise, when we have, let's say, injectors, when we have bearings, we need specific tightening pressures, which can go, let's say, starting from 5 newtometers and going up to thousands newtometers. It can go up to, let's say, 2000, 2500 newtometers. So the tool itself, it needs a lot of care. It needs also calibration. Most of these tools are coming calibrated. I have one of them with me here. I have this tool. It's not that much expensive, I can say. Let me show you how it looks like. This is the one that I have. It is a cheap version, let's say, of the torque range, as you can see here. So it has a socket in front of it, and the socket can have also different sizes. So you can see this is probably 1/4 of the size. You have 1, 2 different sizes. So this is mostly is used for let's say small applications. Excuse me. And you have here yes the choice which direction you would like to select, right or left. So the instrument itself is used only in one direction in tightening. Okay, you should never use the instrument for untightening. It's not recommended. Just only one direction and for tightening. The only problem that I have in this tool, which is cheap, it is that this handle here, it's changed its position. So basically, if you will buy something more expensive, more durable brand, let's say, yes, it will stay exactly as is required. It has certificate. I do not have the certificate now with me, as it is calibrated. But if it's fall down many times, if it's, let's say, crash, or you keep it under tension always and you do not release the spring as required, it will change the tightening pressure. So let's say you have these tools which is not properly stored. You have these tools, let's say, for many years, not calibrated, and you're going to tighten your, let's say, injector or some equipment. Then you tighten, but you didn't tighten in proper tension. So basically, the tension will be less. Let's say you have 300, but you have tightened, let's say, 250. And this have a consequence, because the manufacturer has exploited everything, has exploited all the tensions, have exploited the metals itself, if they are able to withstand what will be exactly the connection between the parts with each other. So all the things, it's no for the manufacturer, because he's the one that builds the engine. He's the one that knows all the characteristics and all the parameters. So there is some things, some features that some of engineers are doing. They say, okay, the tool is old. I will adjust it a little bit, let's say more. I will put it, let's say, if it is, let's say, we would like to type 300, 300, they will put, let's say, 320, little bit more, or 340, in order to close that gap of the tool misalignment. That's also fine, it can be done, okay. It's not that huge difference. For sure, there will be a plus minus, let's say 20 or 30 newtometers, plus minus, but do not over jump the tightening. It's better to recommend it exactly as the manufacturer says. So you can see here we have newtometers, and here we have centimeters and kilograms. Great tool, fantastic tool. You adjust the value. Let's say my value in newtometers are from 5, and then turning it by how much? Let's say half. We are already at 7. Turning it half, we're already at 9. Turning half around, we're already on 11. So it goes 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, 25, 25. 25, yes, it's good enough. Let's see. And it looks okay. Still, I can use this tool, and I will use it to have a much better distribution of the pressure along to the components. So this is, yes, this is also the reason why we use, this is the reason why we use this kind of equipment, in order to reduce, yes, the pressure and distribute it evenly. So let's say, for example, if you have a plate, with bolts here, let's say 4 bolts, and you have tightened a bolt much higher than the other, higher, let's say higher. Higher is it correct? Okay, let's say higher. This will, let's say, much tension. This is much tension than the other. So we have much more pressure on this side. On this side. So it presses really, really hard. And this one, what is happening? They're lifting up from their position. So basically, yes, the distribution, it's not even. So what we would like to do, we would like to apply 25, let's say, newtometers here, 25 newtometers here, 25 here, and 25 here, newtometers. This is how we would like, let's say, to apply the pressure. But what we will do first, very important thing is, when we will put all the bolts, let's say, in the position, so we have one bolt here, one bolt here, one bolt here, and one bolt here, what we will do, first of all, we will tie them by hand. This is what we need to exploit. So we tie them by hand, by hand, by hand, by hand, by hand, and then we start slowly to tighten up them. Let's say 5 newtometers here, 5 newtometers here, then 5 newtometers here, 5 newtometers here, and then we increase. Let's say if this one was the last, we tighten here 5 newtometers, then this, and slowly increasing. So that creates a much better connection of the parts that we would like to connect. It reduces the stress between the parts and it distributes really, really evenly. This is what we care about, the distribution of the stress. And as the parts are heating, the metal expands. The metal expands, and this is we have to take also in our account. Because if we do not take that in account, several things can happen. So our parts will be under tension, under excessive tension, which we don't like it. We simply do not like it and we don't need it. So yes, that is it. That is the tool. That is the tool. And it's really, really a special tool to take care about. It seems like a basic tool, but it's not. It is a calibrated tool, which is none of the normal tools that we are using. It's not calibrated. So it has specific use, it has specific purpose, and it's really precise equipment of tightening. The value is really, really huge from my expertise as I see how I see the things, because I have heard that people have tightened things wrong, and this was mainly the cause of the breakdown of the equipment. If the tightening is wrong, a lot of things can go wrong. The metals will not able to withstand. They can create bending also. If you tighten something, let's say if you tighten a component with different force that is required, let's say a stud here, and here you have a bearing. So basically what you create a deformation, and you create a long-standing deformation, which means it's a plastic deformation. So you are not able to return it back anymore to its initial condition. This is the main purpose as well. So we have to have that things in mind in order to not calm these pressures, to not apply excessive pressures. And also there is a list of bolts, what kind of bolts are there, what metals are there, what friction you should apply, like let's say using of molybdenum disulfide like Molykote and other Molykote, let's say friction reduction in order to achieve that connection. It is really, really important. And since you know that, since you know all that things, all the details, you are able to prevent a lot of problems. You are able to prevent breakdowns, unnecessary situations that it's not required to happen, yes, to you or to anyone else. Because since you apply, since you have done all your checks properly, your tightening pressures, your connections, that the studs are fine, you have measured also that the stud itself, if you have, let's say, a ruler, a metal ruler, you are able to place it here and you are able to check the elongation of the stud. So basically, we have here our threads, and you are able to compare the threads, the length of the threads, to see if there is any deviation from the manufacturer. You have also some spare parts available, and you are able to compare your spare parts. Okay, what I have, what I have in my engine, what I have in my stores. So you always have something to compare with, at least to verify, okay, you think it's fine, we're able to put it, you have your limits on your maintenance book, let's say, or your manual of the engine. So from there, you're able to compare, okay, what I have, let's measure. And for sure, you need to have the proper measurement tools to do that. So you are able to measure the ovality, you are able to measure the elongation, you are able to measure, let's say, the bore, the size of the bore. All the things are required to be known from an engineer while setting the things on maintenance. And that's why the maintenance itself, it is a thing that requires a lot and a lot of attention by properly checking all the things, and not only by checking but also having in mind, but it's better, yes, to create also a checklist. It is more let's say precise, that you will not forget everything because you have one mind. And yes, the things can be forgotten. That's true. That's true. That's why it's better to have a checklist. And as engineer also, yes, you will have done some job, okay, you have check and recheck it again, better twice or three times. Have I done that? Have I forget, let's say, to check the thing or not? Because once I remember we have forgot to tighten the rocker arms was loosened, and this happened because some of the people were coming and asking questions, as interrupting us, so we lost our concentration on the engine. So the people that are working on the engine itself are doing some task. Very important is to avoid to create distractions, because when you're focused there, you have your line of things that you have to do, and you know for sure, yes, that nobody has to distract you for any unnecessary things. Let's say, for example, somebody calls you or send you a mail or wants to tell you something. It is better to do that during, let's say, time which um, it is, let's say, more calm condition, and you are not down in the engine, let's say, jumping on the engine, you are tightening, and somebody calls you, okay, let's see that and that, and you just left, forget something, forget to put some nut or something else, and that's all. That's all. It's very easy things to slippery from the initial, let's say, work. So very important thing, my dear friends, is that how much attention we're giving, let's say, to the things that we are doing. And one thing also that it's really required from your side is to raise the questions, because maybe you have something think about, maybe you have seen some things that you can done differently, or maybe you have, let's say, some proposals for the industry to do better. Because since you know how the things are working, you are able to create different things, you are able to improve things. And I can say that I have been 20 years in this industry, in the maritime industry. And from the beginning, I really like to improve things of how they're working, because I have seen that yes, we spend this time, but we can do it differently. We can do it much easier, much safer, and much more efficiently. So that's why also I created the crude washing course, which I teach there. In the event, let's say you are going to deal with crude oil, how to avoid unpleasant situations, how to avoid environmental consequences, how to avoid cargo claims, how to avoid issues with the crude oil, and all other things. And that's why also I'm explaining everything in the memberships as well. In the marine simulation bundle, where I'm running all the simulations from the Kongsberg and from the Chinese simulator. I explain all the piping diagrams, for what reason, what is the problems, where to check, where to look. The next thing is the boiler advanced course, where I analyze the boiler completely from the beginning, from the first stage till the more advanced material, also dealing with structural things, and also excuse me, and also advanced purifier course, which is a really great course, and it covers the most of the damages that are associated with the purifier, with the overhauling of the purifier, with the ball and the components of how this equipment is structured. And later on, yes, I have made the bunkering optimization project and the sludge optimization project, which is related with the bunker barges. And recently I approached a company, okay, I will not disclose the name of the company, but they was really interested on that project. Was really, really interested in that project. So basically, I have created the project. I know, yes, how to apply, how to do, let's say, done that, and it will save a lot of time. Basically, you will do the bunkering operation in 50% less time. So you can imagine that when a vessel has to spend, let's say, 15 hours for bunkering, and it spends 7 hours, it's a huge win of both parties, both for the bunkering and both also for the vessels, for the owners. Just continue the voyage and do not lose that time. And if you count how many days per year the vessel just spent for bunkering, it is a really huge amount. The vessel just idling, and the vessel idling, it's not a good thing for the owners. And in nowadays, idling, it costs money. It really costs money, funds. It costs salaries by staying there. I have a really great achievement in the project. And basically, yes, this is where my experience at Shell as marine technical advisor helped me to see the commercial part of the things, not just from the engineer, let's say, perspective, but also looking the things much broader and how the things are interacting, how they affect the entire supply chain. um, I can say that my engineering profile really helped me in order to realize the things, but also looking deep on the consequences of what we are doing, also environmental awareness, also about the sustainability, not just as word, but actually doing things to improve in that direction, and not just the shiny, that green phases and all the things. And the one of the things that I really, really like is that the improvement came with so small investment, but basically, yes, we do not have any kind of investment. We do not did anything, let's say, additional. The only investment it was in my salary, nothing else. And basically, I paid my salary by myself, and much more than that. So yes, this was a really interesting part. But the most interesting part is that you do not have to invest money in order to make the change. Some of the things and most of the things just required a proper redirection of the resources or just refining of the existing resources that you have in order to create value. Because the missing link, yes, it is the expertise, but also the next link is the application of that things. It is the rewriting basically the existing operations. It is basically reviewing that operations and find where the bottlenecks are there. So basically, you are as well in the vessel as investigator. You are investigating the cause of the equipment, why the equipment broke down, and you try to find what is the reason of this breakdown. So I always thought, okay, yes, we have different levels of engineers. Yes, we have engineers that are able and want to stay all the entire life, let's say, on board the vessel. We have the engineers that are progressing through their, let's say, development and their personal development through the career. And there are also engineers that are willing to transfer to the companies in and stay, let's say, in the shore role. From my side, I'm something, let's say, in between, but having a more action role on the projects itself. Okay, how to improve the things, how to improve the industry in the direction that it creates much more value, but also has less emissions efficiently and much important safely for the people that are working there, because if we do not make it for the people, if we do not make it for my environment, it's better to not make it at all. It does not make any sense. So the initial focus are on bringing value. Yes, this is the initial. Because we know, and I know also is that the safety will be there for sure, because the standards are also really high from all the parties. The environmental awareness as well is very, very important thing. And yes, how much time we can save, how much time we can save. Basically, less time, less emissions as well, less effort also for the crew. Just imagine the people that are discharging the vessel, let's say in the Rotterdam area or wherever it is. They have stores, they have provisions, they have spare parts to check. They have these sludge operations, dewatering operations, a lot of different kind of operations. So if we will overload the people that are already on board and we make their life much more difficult, we do not help the industry itself. We basically overload them and we create much more, let's say, bottlenecks in order to create the next accident and incident. So that's why I'm telling about, I'm explaining things, and maybe sometimes I repeat myself, but this is actually the meaning. So the leadership not always know how to act or what to do, because they are not able to be everywhere. They are not able to cover everything, um, as I have seen, because simply it's just one person. You cannot think for two heads or three heads. And even AI is not designed to do such things. basically, yes, there will not be anybody to do the things that a person existed, let's say, and know exactly where is the problem. But the most important thing is that uh, the cultural problem is really a critical point of how the people are performing, how they behave. There's a huge part close there, which is not touched at all for most of the companies. And for sure, sorry, and for sure, I believe there is a huge potential there in order yes, to bring clarity, and also bring improvement to the industry. What I'm telling exactly improving the industry, it is that we actually touch the things that was never touched from anyone, okay, and was not explored by anyone. So we are basically the pioneers that brings the innovation to the industry because these things was not touched and was not even identified. So if there is something existed and nobody's talking about that, it is like it's not existed, but it's there. It's there the problem, but nobody sees it. This is the difference. And I have done similar projects and improvements while I was working, let's say, for Shell as well. I have done two main huge projects there. One was related with vessels, accommodation, how to accommodate bigger size vessels, and the other was related with the dewatering. This is one of the two major projects that I have done there and improved. And basically, these projects bring a really huge improvement in the supply chain, the entire supply chain for the products that are coming to their facilities and their assets by reducing the emissions. Because just imagine that before you needed five vessels to bring the same product, and now you need just only one vessel to bring the same amount of product just once. You need just one operation, one tax. So, how many risks you have reduced? You have reduced the risk five times less than it was. It is huge improvement. So you have five less operations. And this time that is been saved, you can focus to other things, which is more important. And this is the things that I'm also telling about that the companies and the firms should discuss with the experts and asking the experts what is your opinion on that, how we're able to do that, are we able, let's say, to accomplish that? Because simply by saying yes and accept something that you can do, and at the end of the journey, we have a pullback of the investors, let's say, of the people that was related with the role, and they say, no, are not able to make it. So, what is the point to start something when you're not able to accomplish it, when you're not able to see the viability of the business and the project? What is the point to do something just to do in order to prove somebody else that, okay, we are here, we have a big name, let's say, in the industry, but actually we're not able to complete even the smallest things in our own facility. Okay, it is just an example, but this is actually happening in big and huge companies. Wasting money, wasting billions, unsatisfied, let's say, investors, because basically it has a hit an impact on the shareholder price, on the image of the company, and the things are not looking really good. What we should have, it is a clear image of what we're doing, what we're aiming. We make a preview, we make a preliminary, let's say, running, a virtual setup of how the things are at the moment, where we are aiming, and what will be the results. So basically, we will have a, a virtual running, a simulation of all the things that we have imagined and in place. Is it that valuable? And if the project will build directly value to the industry. This is what we care about. Or whatever we are doing. Okay, does we repair something? What is the impact? What is the time impact of what we're doing? Because we have to always check the timing, okay, to not overload our person. They are not slaves, they are not our slaves. We have them for specific time to help us to do the job. That's all. We are not created slavery, we are not created slaves. They are there for specific time, accomplish specific work, and get specific amount of money. That's all. This is how the industry should work clear for everyone without any kind of blah 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 and blah 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 and all the things. Clearly, we are here to do the overhauling. That's it. We will work for 5, 6 hours and then we will go for rest. Let's say doing whatever you want. Excuse me. So yes, the project is there, the knowledge is there. The only thing that is required that you as individuals will come and ask me, okay, I have this problem, I have that problem. What should I do and what I'm able to do or should I do or not? That's really important. That type of connection because because yes, that things are really matter. So if you would like, let's say, to raise any questions, let's see the live chat if we have some questions. That will be really appreciated. And we can give also some examples maybe to your questions, let's say, if you have something. So we do not use the super chats. We do not have any, let's say, interaction with super chats. Yes, we will not use that as a goal. Yes, my voice are still a little bit struggling. Okay, let's see. Yes, if you have any questions, yes, that will be really great to hear from. Another thing, dear friends, if you are willing, let's say, to learn something, you do not need any network. You do not need any network to do things because basically the network does not have any power. And as I have said many times, if your network are not able to stand for their beliefs, for their voice, if their voice are not here in the organizations, basically they do not have any power in the organization. So they are not able to change anything. Okay? And what is the point to have the connection? Just to tell, let's say, your pain or something else? It is not required at all. If I would like, let's say, to discuss something, I will discuss it, yes, with myself. Other than that. So, yes, just move on. Just make your goals, what you have, let's say, planned, and that's all. You do not require any network. I have built my LinkedIn back again. Yes, because I'm thinking that the social media in nowadays are good, and I believe yes, some people probably if we have the same interest, yes, we will connect with them, and this is basically yes, what I'm seeking is the people that I have the same interest, the same let's say passion for the industry, and they are there really to make some meaningful changes. Okay, I'm not here let's say to play games or to play somebody else games, that it is a long time over already, and I'm not interested in that at all. So yes, my LinkedIn is back. My LinkedIn is back. You can see my page where I upload, let's say, different thoughts, different things, and also some thoughts, let's say, um, recently. So it's back. It's back. It's more updated, and I like also yes to change the page a little bit and start it from the scrap. Sometimes, yes, it's better to start from the scrap, from the beginning, in order to create something better, okay, something which is has more clarity, more, let's say, dedication of what you are doing. Sometimes, yes, you have to start from the beginning. And I was never afraid to start the things from zero, basically. Starting from zero, yes, sometimes it is um, rethinking the things of, yes, testing things, checking things, let's say, and see how they're working. Mostly is this one, yes, is just interacting, let's say, with the world and see which things and which parts are working much better than the other, nothing else. Let's say it is just to determine the efficiency, which is the best way, let's say, of the communication. Because I have tasted, let's say, to approach the companies through the email, they do not read the emails. Um, and the connections, yes, does not have any power to let's say create any further connection, let's say, with somebody who are able to understand of what I'm doing. So basically what I did in my last, let's say, LinkedIn post, I directly approached the company from their posting, okay, for the from their posting. Yes, it's much better, much more clear, much more direct. I think yes, this is the best way to approach, let's say, somebody else from other companies. So I have a book here. I have a book for karting here as well, reading, and yes, this is one of the sports we really like. That. Oh, if you like it, yes, you're in the best really sport that you can ever imagine. It is really, really fantastic. And it combines also engineering. I have bought this book quite recently, and I would like yes to read it again because yes, it gives a lot of insights. Yes, books always gives a lot of insights. This is a karting book, karting explained, which I'm the team principal of my son. So basically, I am his mechanic as well, and it's really really great thing, yes, to connect with your kids. And the next thing, yes, it is the my book which I write it down. Yes, it is what I know better. Let's say what I know better. This is the thing what that I'm doing. Okay, the crude washing. Yes, this is the thing that I knew, and the things that make me, let's say, excited to learn them. And basically, is the reason why I write this book, because I have worked as marine technical advisor, and I learned some very, very great things, and I would like to share them with all the people that are interested, let's say, to discharge a vessel and have nil ROB. Probably, yes, you have the skills to do that. Probably, yes, let's say you are in the same route, but the route can change someday, and you will require this knowledge in order to know what to do, to not let behind. Because in the academies, in the Merchant academies, they will not learn these things. They will not learn these things. They will not learn these things also as well to you. So the books have a huge power. And I have another book. I have another book. Somebody asking me what books to read. What books I have to read. I have books everywhere. I have books also here. I really like them. This book, okay, I do not read because I know them. But I have a lot of books. I have a lot of books. I have also this book here, Harvard Business Review. It is also great book about businesses, yes, and all that setup of the businesses, how they're working. Yes, it's fantastic. And I also started to write a book about the vessels, yes, about the communication, how to deal with, and it's the shipping and the maritime, how it's functioning inside, let's say, all that communication that is happening on board. It is exactly like a business. It does not have something different from the business. It is exactly a foundation of the business. The vessel itself, the people that are there, the communication, the roles and the levels, the hierarchy, all the things are exactly a micrography of a business as well. So, dear friends, thank you very much for your time. See you in the next live or next video. Thank you, and I hope you like this video. Your thumbs up and subscriptions if you like it. Bye bye.